Okay, now we're moving on to the heater blower motor assembly. We've taken the windshield wiper out. I've got the other video on that, and basically essentially all we've done since then is pull the two little side rain covers off. We already removed the bolts for that in the windshield wiper assembly. These simply slide out. I'll show you those real quick. Where did I put one? They just slide out of here. There's a little groove between the plastic that it slides back into. This is the fuse for the early model R129. That's the fuse for the blower motor. Anyway, this just pops under, slides in, and we're sliding that straight back out after we remove the screws. Okay, the next step is to remove these bolts that hold it in. 10mm bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 in the front are a bit of a bitch. You do have to remove this firewall extension here. 2 small Phillips screws here that go just, you can see a little plate here. See a little hole where they went through? And you just have to remove those and then move the firewall extension forward to get to these front bolts. This one here is a 22mm because it's a post for attaching the cabin air filter box on. And that's it. Once those 4 are out, you can lift this out of the way. Be careful with the blower, these door actuators, the vacuum door actuators. You have to unplug these here from the side. Anyway, we'll do that once we get further along. This is just the next step in line. Okay, now that all the bolts are out, you're going to have to unhook the vacuum lines for the flap motors up here. There's one on each side, and there are. Unhook this little this electrical clip here that's just popped on the side. Just pull that down out of the clip. And there's 2 green lines and 2 red lines, 1 red and 1 green for each side to open and close the vacuum door. You're going to unhook these down here from the green and from the red, so it's easy enough to hook back up. So you're just going to have to pop all 4 of those off, and then we're going to lift the whole assembly out of there. So I'll be back in 2 seconds once those are hooked up. Okay, last thing to unhook, the air temperature sensor here for underneath the air intake. It's just got a little slot here that it slides in and down here. Pop that out. And we're going to lift up from the backside toward the engine, lift up in the back and rotate it out. Pull it from under here. Again, you're around the windshield. Be very careful with these 2 bolts up here. Don't let your tools touch the windshield or you're going to crack it and you're not going to be happy. Okay, so now that the tray is out of there, you can actually see where you're going to get to the motor and the voltage regulator controller for motor speed. First thing you're probably going to want to check is whether your motor is seized or not, and you can do that just by spinning the squirrel cage. And you probably can't see it, but mine is spinning fine. So I'm going to have to assume it's either in my actual climate control unit in the dashboard, although I pulled that apart and I don't see anything burnt out in there, or it is in the voltage regulator up here. So anyway, I'm going to pull that out and test it. Actually, I'll show you before I lose light. I'm going to show you how to unhook the blower motor and pull that out. You see little clips along the bottom, the front and the back. You're going to pop those back very carefully because these Mercedes motor clips. Oh, someone's phoning me. Anyway, you pop all those clips off and pull the top shroud off. Hold on. Okay, I apologize. It's getting dark. But as usual, I work when I can work, and it's dark right now, so that's when I'm working. Anyway, I've got a voltmeter hooked up to test the power coming into the motor. Red is power plus, blue is negative. So I've already tested, and it looks like there is power coming into the motor. And we'll see if there's a ground now, because I've got the red hooked up to the power. I'm going to ground it. And I've got 11.44 volts coming through. So there is power getting to the motor through the voltage regulator. Now we put it on a different fan speed. That was fan speed 3. I'm putting it on fan speed 1 now. We're going to test the voltage. It should be a little bit lower. Actually, it's not. But the voltage regulator would regulate voltage to the motor. What do I know? Anyway, it appears power is getting to my fan motor, or to my blower motor, and the blower motor is just not, it's spinning fine, it's not binding on anything, so there's nothing that's caused it to go. So it's possible the brushes are gone in here. Anyway, I've shown you how to take the motor out. Like I said, clips here, and then there's the one major clip. How do you get that one out? There's one big, let me grab the camera. Sorry for the fingers. So you've got the clips on top of the covers, and then there's a big clip in the middle around the fan. See the big brass clip that pops up, and you can lift the whole assembly out. You lift the two tops. The top of the squirrel cage is off. This one comes off with the blower regulator, and then you pop the center one off, and that's basically the one that's holding the motor in. Anyway, until I figure out what's wrong with this motor, that's basically all I can do. I've shown you how to get the motor to the motor and get the motor out. It's not that big a deal. It's only about 45 minutes. 15-20 minutes to remove the wiper blade, which I have in another video. I'll put a link to it on this. And then basically removing a couple other things to get to the blower motor. It's going to take a little while longer to put it back in because it is a bit of a bitch to get around these wires at the front here, but it's not really that big a deal. But that's about all I can tell you right now because I don't know what's wrong with this. So anyway, I'm going to get working on it and see what I can find out. Okay, I've taken the squirrel cage blower motor out, lubed it up. It looks fine. The brushes look completely fine. I've attached a positive to the fuse for the blower. I've grounded a negative to the negative post here on, I don't know if you can see this, to the negative post on the squirrel cage. I'm just going to apply some positive power real quick to see if it spins, which it does. Watch out when doing this, doesn't get away from you. And it spins and runs fine. So what the issue is, I have no idea. I'm getting power to it, but once it's in there, it doesn't like it. Odd. So I've still got this hooked up. I've still got this it's all unhooked and everything. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug these two plug wires back in and see what happens. While I'm holding onto it, if I drop it and break the damn thing, laugh at me because I'm an idiot. I shouldn't be doing this, but you know what? Time's of the essence. I don't have a hell of a lot of time, and I need to find out what the hell's wrong with this thing. So again, I've plugged in negative. Or I'm plugging in negative, if it will go in. I'm going to just carefully touch the positive power to the, and nothing. Strange. Very odd. Because my only voltmeter that has, my only electrical tester has batteries left in it, everything else is dead, so I'm using this crappy little one I keep in my car. Now this is strange because I'm getting full power to those plugs. These two plugs I'm getting 12 volts to. Now let's read the voltage. I mean, God, I'm getting 12 volts to the exact same 12 volts is coming through to so I'm getting 11.8485 volts coming from the fan fuse, and just grounded to a bolt here on the strut tower. So I'm getting 11.85 volts. So now let's measure the voltage. Unhook that before I kill myself. To the fan. See if it's much different. I mean, it should be basically 11.8 volts. If it's not, something's up. I'm getting 11.4 volts to there. I suspect it's a ground problem. Let's try this. Watch and laugh again, because I'm going to hook this up to the fan back up to its positive cable, and I'm going to hook a ground to it and see what happens. Wish me luck. So, positive. And we will give it its own source of ground. God, please don't hit anything. And it's, as you can see, it's spun there. So we got a ground problem somewhere. The voltage controller I'm going to suspect it's either in the voltage regulator here. It's half a volt that's making the difference, oddly enough. So it's either in the voltage regulator or it's in the control panel inside the car. So there's a difference of half a volt that is making this whole deal go sour. So anyway, it's getting pretty dark here, so I'm not going to film much more tonight, but if I find anything out, I'll let you know.